Hello again, welcome back to Astro-Land. In this episode I'm going to be finishing up Volcania. So this is going to be the last video on the entire series of Astro-Land. I'm quite glad that I got to finish this project, and I was concerned at the beginning of this project that I wasn't going to finish such a giant project. So I'm glad I finished it. I'm very happy that it's done. It was a blast working on it, and learned a lot of things about park design and placement of utilities and things like that, and coasters, and just trying to design a theme park from my imagination. It was a pretty cool way to go. Yeah, this park will go on the workshop for you guys to kind of goof off in and kind of look around. There is a scenario mode kind of for it. There's goals attached to this scenario. You can do stuff too, but it's not a thing like crazy. Like there's like it asks for a guest count or something, or money made. I want to see if the park runs with money. I did some test runs recently on it just to kind of see how that would work, and it seems like the park can operate. So here I'm going to do the giant rock work for the volcano for Volcania. So the mountain itself is called Doom Mountain, and so the coaster is also called that as well. So it's just I took a lot of inspiration from Tokyo Disney Sea and Mysterious Island. So this is kind of like this was like my equivalent to Journey to the Center of the Earth, but a little different. So I did a wooden inverted and just kind of like messed around with rock work. Most of the ride's covered in rock work because it is a volcano, but I did like the idea of having some of the track come in and out of the mountain. So it's kind of like a mix between Big Thunder and Mysterious Island. So that's kind of what was the objective. And I was deliberating on not having a volcano, because I felt like the volcano might have pulled way too much, attention away from the main castle of the park, but it turned out actually pretty well that it happened to be on this side of the park, or on this end, and it actually was a good decision. I was concerned it wouldn't, but sometimes go with your gut feeling kind of works out. The volcanoes, what is it called? The top of the volcano where the lava comes out. I made two spouts actually, so it's kind of like a twin volcano. And also, what's so cool about making this like realistic, I didn't have to build the other half of the mountain because I had to make it out of like building and or backstage stuff. I think that was a cool idea. That I was like, okay, cool. We don't have to build it all, because if it was a real mountain, I would have to build a whole bunch more. The lava for this was using shapes, and then the technique with the coloring system again. I was going to use real lava, like from the terraforming section, but I would have to lift up land in a 3x3 and then indent it and then put the lava in, like I did with Indoor Mania with Coaster Bee's volcano. I did it that way, but in this case I was like, I don't want to do that. It just would make more tunnels ugly on the coaster, and I'm just going to build the whole thing with fake lava anyway, and so I'm using shapes. Later you'll see what technique I use to make the shapes glow at night, because the volcano looks cool at night as well. So I'm just finishing up the back end, figuring out where all the fake rocks would go. So the coaster kind of comes out of the mountain on top and then dips back inside, does its things, and comes outside, does that half loop into a corkscrew. I use cylinder pieces to just do lava flow into the lake below, or the ocean. It's a lake, technically speaking, it's not a real ocean. So this, again, this is the biggest, not the biggest land, but the most detailed. Yes, the most detailed. So I'm going to put in some fire effects to give some glowing effect, to give the lava that ember glow at night, so it looks like it's alive. And then I found a cool technique to use the little blazer thing from the medieval set. and you just put it underneath, you see little fires and smoke, and it just makes the area glow. And this is a cool technique to go if you want to make like glowing water or lava. Well, water, you can't necessarily do that, but lava is easy because you can just hide it underneath it, and that's a good way to go. Here's the front of the entrance to the ride. I already finished most of the rock work. Rock work itself, I think, took about 2 hours to do, maybe an hour and a half, not 2. So these are like copper, like roof sheds that would hold up the rocks after they dug the hole. They put in bracing, and so I was like, okay, I'm going to do bracing for the coaster and the entrance at the same time. So this is where I'm going to put the custom signage for the ride, and then I'm going to just make it more steampunk or more like Jules Verne-ish like. So it's mechanical, and it looks like it could physically hold up this rock that it's been in, I don't know, standing. Looks good. I like the entrance because the ride's inside the mountain. There's really no like station building that I get to build. Not like my other, not like my other rides. They have full-on station buildings. Not like the mountain is the station for this ride. Regardless, I'm just rambling about stations. Here comes in the actual signage, Doom Mountain. I was watching a lot of. Actually, I was playing Doom, and I was just like, maybe I'm just gonna call it Doom Mountain, something simple, something generic. I don't know. It's just just came to my mind. Here is the rock. Looks like mountains. Sometimes adding too much rocks or adding too much details kind of take away from the detail. So simplifying it actually worked out. And then I was like, I need a skull because it's Doom. So I took the skull from the new set from the DLC, and then used the new texts prop, and then just called it Doom Mountain. Very simple and straightforward. Nothing crazy. Again, when I build something, I'm like the hardest critique in all of this. So when someone looks at my stuff and says, "Oh my god, it looks awesome, great," and I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I see like 7 things wrong with it, but I'm trying not to over critique myself sometimes, and that's the tough part. Doing projects this big and sharing it, I think that's the most interesting part actually. So yeah, there's Doom Mountain. It's pretty cool. Oh yeah, flags, that doesn't work necessarily because it's up against the mountain. It's like, what's the point? So later on in this build, I was thinking about putting my submarine ride in, and I kind of put myself in a corner when I'm working on it. And so I had to deconstruct the mountain below and build the submarine's voyage underneath it. And this actually turned out really well accidentally. It was a pain because I had to delete a whole bunch of mountain, and I mean a lot of it. I had to delete the majority of this bottom half here. So, because I felt like, because I am in an ocean biome, I need a submarine ride, and I don't see a lot of submarine rides used in the community, so I'm just going to put submarine ride in, and I think this worked out really well. Some techniques for the submarine ride is when you build, the station will be at water level, so it has to be at least a full block, yeah. And I like taking the ride and going down a quarter slope, and so that the boat actually goes into the water and has like this small surface of water just above it. That I think looks the most realistic for it, because most of the time if you didn't do that down slope into the water, your propeller would be like a quarter out of the water and your boat should kind of look weird. The cool thing about this ride is that you don't actually need water to run it. So you can actually build this ride on like ground, and it's totally fine. You don't need water to build the submarine ride, not like any other water ride in this game. So it's a cool little thing you can kind of mess around with. Like if you really wanted to build a blueprint and do like fake water, you could. But submarine ride, kind of put in so you can see how they're above surface at the station, but as they go out, they dip under, and it just kind of works out better that way. So figuring out the station for this was kind of like, well, it's already in the mountain, I'm going to hide that. but I have to now make a new entrance for it and change some things, like I added more rocks over here so the submarine goes into this waterfall into another cavernous area. See, I'm also thinking like maybe there's a show building underneath the roller coaster, but we can't see it because of this angle. So I'm just thinking like, oh, maybe the Kraken's in there, and that's the point of the ride. The ride's like a 3-minute ride, I think. Yeah, it's a 3-minute ride. So I was like, okay, cool. That works out. I had to figure out how to reincorporate the bridge again and the station, because the rockwork completely, you can see how I just gutted everything at the bottom. And so this is where it gets a little difficult on figuring out how to reincorporate a mountain and my bridge, make sure that the submarine ride kind of fits in the area. So I'm going to take it one step at a time, figuring out things, figuring out the entrances, and then fixing the basically the tunnel entrance for the monorail. So that this worked out is just a lot of sculpting with the rock, deleting, replacing, kind of going with the flow, kind of, I don't know how to explain rock working. It's like you just kind of go with it. So I also had to figure out some lava pathways because I had it originally go down straight here. I had to move it, so I had to figure out which way it would go later, and then drop down. And then I felt like the submarine ride needed an extra like turn or something. And then as I was working on it again, I destroyed more mountain because I felt like I needed more buildings in this land, because this is Captain Nemo's base, right? Submarine base. So I'm like, I need another building attached to the mountain maybe. So I decided to make this little outcrop, and the outcrop's going to house just a simple vending machine, so it's like a in-between snack area. And then it's going to be like some building that kind of built against the mountain. This actually worked out too, because it kind of drags your eye toward it. Like if you're across the river, or sorry, not river, ocean. It's not even an ocean, it's a lake. Well, what am I saying? It's a lake, but it's an ocean. It kind of tells you to go that way, and this kind of area you kind of go to chill and look at the entire land from this area and watch the submarine go by. I think it's a cool idea, and it worked out to kind of finish up the land's whole cohesiveness. And you won't even see me build a custom sign for this because I built that off camera. I also built another section off camera. I will show you that in the live playthrough. It'll give you a final tour of Volcania and maybe some areas of Astro-Land. I'm not sure, and I'm not sure if I need to do like a cinematic trailer or something. I've never done that before, so I might experiment on making a trailer. I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet, but maybe I can. Regardless, I should be talking about I'm going to call it the submarine base building. Yeah, it's a submarine base building. I would say it's like the command center for the submarine base. So kind of a lot of this inspiration again came from Tokyo Disney Sea. Again, that park is awesome, and I really, really want to go. Can't right now because of all the disease going around. But no more talking about sad things. Let's talk about Astro-Land, because you guys get to go and see this land very soon, or the whole park in general. So what else is there to talk about? I don't think I have any other plans for other projects coming up. Oh, no, actually I do. No, I lie. Haha, I lie. I have a whole bunch of projects going. So I have a new scenario on the workshop already. I was kind of like did a side scenario called Happy Co modeling plant. So it's Happy Co themed and Happy Cola themed, and you can go and check that scenario out on the workshop. And the next series I think I'm going to work on is a recreation. I'm really like inkling on doing a Grizzly River Run recreation, because I want to play with the river rapids some more. So I might be doing that next, and then maybe doing another scenario as well at the same time, like another scenario video, like a different one. So we'll see. That's maybe the things coming up in the next couple weeks. So yeah, that's basically what my plans are for this game. Yeah, nothing like crazy going on besides just building and being at home all the time at this point. So I hope you guys are all doing well and safe and staying sane out there. So I will transition to the live playthrough and see you there. Hey guys, welcome to the tour of Astro-Land. So in the time lapse I showed you what I was working on with Volcania. So I'm going to just show you a quick, I don't know, what's the finish of Volcania. Let's just trek over there. And this wonderful map. This map is gigantic. Okay, so here we are. Front of Volcania. Here is the entrance. Here is a clockwork. Oh my god, I should know what this right is. Clockwork, kind of themed into the colors of, I don't know, steampunk or Jules Verne. Had a couple waterfalls over here just to give it some more taste or more like water. And then here's the main station, and then the different rockwork. Ferris wheel got moved. This is a better spot. It used to sit right here. It was not, I didn't like it because it's kind of like in the middle of nowhere. Here is the restaurant seating area. So restaurants are here, and the seating area back here. There's a small backstage area right behind the buildings. And then it goes on to the volcano, and then I'll show you, yeah, I'll show you the volcano first. Let's do that. So here's the volcano Mount Doom. Look how magnificent this thing is. This is like crazy. Yeah, I worked on this. This was a long build. Yeah. Here's the sign for Voyage of the Deep. That's the name of the Submarine Ride. And then there's the sign for Doom Mountain. And then not in the, what was in the time lapse was I built this other like rafter system or scaffolding. And then I built more backstage area for, well, backstage. Built a generator system for the back of the ride. Add some pipes and lights. More air conditioning vents again. As I was building on, I felt like this area back here was very, very empty. So I built another building and another like thing in general. So I cut through. Yeah, I built a path underneath the bridge, cut through, and I call this the observatory. So this is like where Captain EO goes and, I don't know, observes things. But inside is actually a movie theater. If it, there it goes. Oh my god, it lags so much. Movie theater, 3D cinema. And then I built a, I don't know, I went overboard with the AC duct system, but I don't really, I think it's cool. So I did that. I had a break room for my employees. Then another like employee street here for supplying supplies or delivering supplies into this land. And then I made a fake seawall or sea gate for the submarine ride. And that's basically it for Volcania. Let's zoom all the way out. So my FPS drops to 25. Wow, this is crazy. Here, let's look at it at night. So here is the volcano at night, Volcania. I think this looks really cool, and I hope you guys like what I've built with Astro-Land. And I'm looking forward to doing bigger projects like this. Maybe I'll do another collab with somebody, who knows what the future holds. But I had a blast doing this project, and it'll be on the workshop for you guys to goof off in. So I want to sign off and see you guys in the next video. Bye.